What is love to you, Ilana? What is your idea of love?
Well, I think about personal love, and I also think about more of a universal love. And I think about love for the earth and for the planet. And when I think about with my husband, with his Alzheimer's, the whole idea of cultivating love for him, it's really became fully accepting what was going on. There's no simple answer to what is love, but there's a way of accepting if it's a person, the person, or if it's natural world, is the isness of the tree, let's say. Really accepting that and caring for that with tenderness and kindness. I think kindness to me is the biggest thing with love is, general love. Can you be kind to people, even when you don't agree with them?
You wrote the book, Sacred Stories, A Caregiver's Journey Through Alzheimer's. Talk to me for a moment about the main inspiration and the intention of writing this book.
Living with Alzheimer's is so tough, and you are constantly on. You're constantly aware of everything around you, keeping the person safe, making sure they get dressed, making sure they get fed. At certain stages, it doesn't start that way. It develops that. This is my inspiration. One day, I was trying to get him dressed, and it was 4 hours later. I was still trying to get him dressed, and it wasn't going to happen. He was sitting on his bed, and I couldn't do it. And I had a job to do, and I had to go do my job, and I couldn't do it. And at some moment, I decided to put my hands out like I always did when we were on the streets. And I said, well, come with me, or something like that. And he came and he put his arms out, both arms, and he said, oh, and he got up and he started walking towards me. And he said, you are my fairy godmother. And his eyes lit up like he'd seen an angel. And I went, and all of a sudden, all the angst and Alzheimer's just disintegrated. And he had a big smile on his face. And I had a big smile on my face. And I began to realize that, wow, I have to write something. That was the moment. I have to write about those sacred moments that happen, even in the middle of such a horrible, horrible, hard journey. That there are moments, and actually many, and you can begin to walk the path of holding that person with Alzheimer's and not thinking about all the bad parts, but recognizing some of the beautiful parts. And so that's when I started writing. But my book came to me so often during my dreams, where I'd wake up from a dream, or I'd wake up with a song in my head, and I would say, now what am I supposed to write this morning? It was always 2 a.m. This would happen. And I began writing the chapter, and then eventually the chapter kind of formed into a book, and then it took its right order. The inspiration, I didn't know what it was at first. I just knew I had to write these stories, these sacred stories. And I worked with a writing coach a little bit, and she said, now, what is the story really about? And I said, I think it's just about living with Alzheimer's. No. The real thing underneath the living with Alzheimer's, oh my God, it's about a relationship. It's about relationships. And that's really what the story was about. It's a love affair. It's about the love affair that can happen during Alzheimer's.